Hey there. Today we are going to look at my three favorite sites for doing word studies online, starting with the simplest all the way to the most robust. So here we go with number one.
Let's start with studylight.org, which I find fantastic for a simple, quick word study. Now, when you go to studylight.org, you can go down to this interlinear Bible that you see right here, but it's going to give you an entire chapter. So if you're studying a whole chapter, then that's great, but it makes the page a little bit more complicated. I like to go to something really simple. In the general Bible search, if you just click on the verse where you know that word shows up, and then right under here, Strong's Interlinear Bible, then what I love about this is it puts the verse, you can go to something else later, and also notice how as I highlight different words, it shows you the Greek and it becomes a clickable link. Well, let's just say, for God so loved the world, you want to figure out which kind of love that is. You click that and you'll notice that down below it doesn't open up a new window, doesn't go to anything really complicated. It's just a quick, simple word study. Shows you this is agapao and gives you, you can click this and play it. It'll give you the definition and a few other places and translations, how many times it's used in different translations. So that is my favorite way to use studylight.org. Now let's take a look at BibleHub.com, one of the most thorough and powerful and robust Bible study sites out there. Today, again, we're looking at word studies. So the shortcut, you can go in and you can select your book and all that kind of stuff. But again, the shortcut, let's look at the same one we did for the last one, which is John 3:16 and how it handles it. So once you go into here, then you're going to want to click Interlinear. What I like about BibleHub is not only does it have all the clickable links, but with the color coding and things, it's just really easy to navigate and read. So the one thing to think about with BibleHub is if we're looking at the same love that we looked at when we were looking at StudyLight, what you're going to want to click on is the number at the top. That's going to give you your word study. And what I like about the way that BibleHub organizes it is you can kind of do the simple to the complicated all at one time on one page as you scroll. So the very basic is up here, and then it has a few, where it's used, and it gets a little bit more extended. And then as you get down, all the way down to this Thayer's Greek lexicon, you can get as deep and thorough as you could imagine. So you could spend lots of time if you're really a word study person. But if you just want to get some basic understanding of a word that is significant in that verse, then you can even just start right there at the top and just go deeper if you want to. So that is the simple, quick, and easy on BibleHub.com doing a word study. Now let's take a look at BlueLetterBible.org, one of my absolute favorite all-around Bible study sites, and it's also terrific for doing both quick as well as really in-depth word studies. So, like with some of the other ones, you put the verse that you want, you can select. I highly recommend selecting the translation that you've been using in your Bible so that the wording and everything matches up. Then just click search. It will give you the entire chapter, but the one right at the top will be whatever the reference is. So you can scroll up to see others, but there's John 3:16. If you just simply hover, don't click, but hover over tools, you'll see some options, and the very first one is interlinear. On that same page, it will then open up. Instead of, the other ones were arranged kind of top to bottom, hovering over. This is more side to side. So we go to that same word there, and again, here's your number. So you click that, and that will take you into the word study page for that word, which again has some kind of basic stuff up at the top, and then it gets a little bit more detailed. It doesn't get quite as in-depth as BibleHub does, but it does give you a little bit more, and you can go into that Thayer's. I guess if you click this and you can take another level deep, there is that same Thayer's that is in BibleHub. But what I really like about Blue Letter Bible is it gives you the Vine's Expository Dictionary entry, which is the most popular word study dictionary in the world. And so if you click the View Entry, right there on that same page, without leaving the page, it gives you kind of the definition of that word and some basics about it without going quite as deep as that Thayer's. So if you want to go a little bit deeper, but not quite so deep as the Thayer's, then Vines is a fantastic intermediate study. Now, one last thing about word studies. I really recommend that when you do a word study, you go back into the text, and Blue Letter Bible makes that really simple. So if we go back to where that page was, you'll see that that you've got other options as far as comparing other translations and cross-references where this is found in other places, commentaries, dictionaries, and even this miscellaneous, which will give you maps or just some cool art, lots of different things, some music. I mean, just so it really gives you the option of, while you're doing that word study, to not just make it a really heady thing, but have something where it takes you back into the text and comparing the translations and really going deeper with your word studies. So that's why BlueLetterBible.org is one of my favorites, not just for doing word studies, but moving from word studies into further, deeper reading of the text.
Well, I hope you found this helpful and that you will check out studylight.org, BibleHub.com, and BlueLetterBible.org. You can find out more at keithfarron.com or youtube.com/keithfarron.